Okie dokie. All right. Hi, everybody. Bingo. Look at that dapper Dan in that picture there. My goodness. Yeah, I always pick the best poses for myself. That's for sure. Okay, hi. My name is Christopher Runciman, Runcy-Man. Welcome to the One Page Story Extravaganza podcast, episode 140. Okay, so on the stream here, I get inspired by people's ideas and suggestions, and I take those ideas, suggestions that I'm given, and I produce one-page stories from those. And I do this on the daily. So, yeah, we are working towards 200. So I'm feeling good. Going for 200 pages in 200 days. And we are getting close, really close. It's strange development time. Like we've got people come in and being supportive all around, and I love that. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. And we've almost got 700 people on Instagram, which is crazy, and over 160 now on YouTube here. And man, boy, do I appreciate that. It's fun. It's a lot of fun what's going on, and I appreciate everybody's engagement in it. Okay, let me see. If you like what I'm doing here, you can sign up, likes, notifications, bells if you want to know when we're doing one. I do a stream every Monday through Friday, every day at 2 o'clock EST or 11 a.m. PST. And so what we do here is we take one of these suggestions and we start breaking it down into a page. I get as far as I can. Today is I'm showing yesterday's suggestion that we started, which was Junkyard Sandwich Shop, and which was a lot of fun to do. I did it on a piece of paper that I manipulated the surface with jelly plating. So that was kind of exciting and new for me. Oh, we got somebody popping in saying hi. Hi, Aditi. Welcome aboard. So one of the things that I've got plotted and planned right now is all kinds of this engagement of surface manipulation and stuff, and really exploring and examining what I can get done with the jelly plating methods and approaches. And so I'm kind of keen to see how far we can push that. The original art for this page is up on my Patreon. I'm really stepped up on the Patreon thing. For $3 a month, you get to see all the pages and descriptions and everything else like that. A lot of those are going to start coming off of Instagram and Facebook in accordance with what's coming up with the publishing. But they'll be staying on Patreon. In addition, Patreon gets to see the Saturday and Sunday pages. And I record audio files for every page now. And those are on the Patreon posts so that you can listen to me doing silly voices and reading through each page. And I've called in backup on that. And my wife, Lori, has even helped me out reading some of the parts on some of the pages. So it is getting silly. But that's where you can see all that stuff. And then at the end of each week on Substack, I post the entire week's worth of pages. So, yay! But the audio files is only on Patreon. So it's just silly fun. I didn't realize when I recorded these that you could actually download them. That could get me into trouble. Thanks to my patrons. Thanks to the 2 new patrons that signed up this week, as well as our big patrons, James and David. Okay. Let me think. If there's a one-page suggestion that you have in mind, please feel free to put it down in the chat here or to put it in the comments if you're watching the video after the chat is over. I try to answer every comment I get. And if you want to put it on other social media like Instagram or Facebook, you're welcome to do so. We're trying everything at this point. But getting everything ready for the new thing, the new book. I've got a bunch of pieces of paper set up. I'm going to switch the camera over to... there we go. Look at this. I have finally got a proper setup for cameras now. It's clear. The light is there, right? Oh, gosh. Yeah, so I'm very pleased. It took me a while to really get that sorted out, but we got there. Folks. We did it together. We're a team. All right, so I've got a couple different surfaces I can work on today. But I might still. Oh, clapping. Thank you, Didi. So I've got a bunch of different pages that I've got monkeyed up that I can work on today's story in. So if there's anything that you've seen here as I'm fanning through for anybody that's watching, feel free to shout out which one you liked. And there's a selection of those now. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And today I'm going to draw in Fudenosuke pens, which is my favorite drawing pen to use. I don't know if you've tried these bad boys. There's two kinds. There's a soft and then there's the hard tip. The soft is black. The hard tip is the blue one. There we go. So I'm going to do some stuff with these today. I don't know. I might rough it out with my primary pencil just because I'm primary like that. I'm basic. See what I did there? Just going through the book. I didn't pick a one page for today, but we got some really fun ones that have been coming in this week, and which I'm good with. But I have not sat down and picked one. There's some silly stuff like the monuments suggestions that we had recently. There was if Canada was a theme park, what would our theme park be, and who would the mascot be? And we got a whole list of those. And I think I might do those starting next month in a similar vein of the 500 years from now series. So we'll see. So there's just so much of that to look at. There's probably 10 or 11 suggestions of that. And then we've got a couple of outstanding ones. There's 3 word prompt suggestions that are sitting right now, like Marigold, Red Panda, and Periwinkle. I'm going to be doing a 3 prompt page on Thursday. That's why we're calling it 3 Prompt Thursday. Yeah. So one of the things that I've got sitting here is an autobiographical about me going on a tour of a submarine. That's kind of funny. I'm going back a little bit just to make sure I'm kind of caught up on older ones. And the reason that I try to do that is that I don't want anybody to feel like you never did my thing ever. So, that's how I do. But I think today what we've got on docket is a couple of suggestions that came in yesterday are a lot of fun. There's onions have become sentient and are trying to take over the world. That's one from Chandler the Handler. And then we've got an Egyptian pack rat, which came in from Michael Thon. So I'm leaning towards the Egyptian pack rat. And the reason that I am for that is that it's Michael's first suggestion. And let's be keen like jelly beans. So I think I'm going to go back to this. And just to take a slight break because of the impactful amount of color that we've been using. So I'm going to switch to this. In fact, I'm going to go even more monotone. So there we go. Lean. I like that. Okay, so today's suggestion is an Egyptian pack rat. So, it's always about a starting point for me. And I don't know. I'm just going to type in the word Egyptian and let's go from there. So, but you know what is going to come up? What do you think is going to come up? That's right, the Eiffel Tower. You're right. It's the Eiffel Tower. Okay. So I don't know. Let's switch it up. I'm gonna come at this from sideways. I'm gonna start with a different narrative point today. I want to, you know what? I'm gonna stop being precious and just start drawing. How are you? You good? Yeah. Oh, you're pretty dry. That's all right. We'll use that. All right. So I'm just gonna start into Oh, you're really dry. All right. Well, this is where we are. Never throw away pens until you have to. Gee, that's fun. Walk like an Egyptian back right. Like that. Hold on. That's a good one. I watched some video recently that kind of thought it was a little weird. The person that was in that music video all those years ago, who is now 50s, right? We're doing a whole thing where they're sort of reliving that moment from them with the camera freezing on them and doing their eyeball thing and being all cute. And I just thought, it's kind of random and out of the blue, just to sort of show up and do that. I thought it was kind of different, but it was, I'm going to turn my fan on. I got to turn my fan on. My fan wasn't even on. Huh? Wasn't even on. What kind of lunatic just turns it off? Oh my gosh. Had a condo made of stoner. He's my favorite honky. I remember walking around singing that song when it first came out. I could not get it out of my head. My favorite Steve Martin line is kind of ridiculous. It's from The Jerk, and it's where he's at Hartunen's garage, and somebody's trying to shoot him, and they keep missing, and he starts to run around a bit like a kook, but they keep hitting these oil cans at the front of the garage. And so he thinks that they're after the cans. And so somebody really hates these cans. It's the dumbest moment in film. His Egyptian skit is the best. Yeah, indeed. Married to a donkey. He's my favorite donkey. Oh my God. That's the same Saturday Night Live band that left the show to go touring as the Blues Brothers band, and then they were replaced by G.E. Smith and T-Bone Tyrone Ball. Hall & Oates band. Yeah, this guy's dying. I think I'm gonna end up retiring a whole bunch of markers. I have not touched some of these in a while, and so I'm not sure what level of healthy they are, but we'll figure it out. We'll get to them. We'll get something out of them. Never throw them away until you have to throw them away. I think that the opportunity that's presented by half-dried markers is important, because you'll find different textures and marks that you'll be making that you might not have if you're always using perfectly brand new markers. You can get some real interesting sketching lines out of drawing markers. So today's music that I'm listening to is The Magic Numbers. Fun band. I'm missing all kinds of stuff. I'm sorry about that, gang. Spinning the pen. Am I doing it already? Hiya, Janet. Welcome aboard. Am I doing it already? I probably am. Yeah. Yeah, I just did it. Oh my gosh, now I'm getting self-conscious again. We don't think about these things when we're working. It's not until somebody notices you doing it and you go, "What? I do what? I balance on my nose." Oh, I came to see if Christopher was going to draw on his jelly prints. I'll show you the one I did yesterday. This is the jelly print that I drew on yesterday. I can work on the jelly print. If people would prefer that, I can work on a jelly instead. I got a couple of basic color ones. Yeah, here, look. Here's a black and white. I got one. Okay, so this is yesterday's jelly drawing from the Junkyard Sandwich Shop. And then today we're doing an Egyptian pack rat. Those are Phoenix papers. Hello, kind humans. I wish I could draw with a pen like you, D. However, I have to use a pencil, so I can erase. Hi, Willow. Welcome aboard. Well, I think that there's no difference in drawing with a pen and a pencil. If you allow yourself to just let go of any concern that you might have about those mistakes and just sort of lean into them. And I would recommend you look into the possibility that if you're drawing in black and white and you make a mistake, use white over top of it and go over top of it. And if you start developing textures from those mistakes, that can be interesting too. So just sort of lean into those opportunities. It's been a long time since I've caught anybody online. Well, you're very welcome. I'm only going to draw on whiteboards from now on. How come? That's an interesting thing. How come? Here, I'll draw the same thing. Maybe I might not be able to use Fudenosuke if they're all dry. It's just catching up. So, I mean, the opportunity that you can find in taking out that information from mistakes made, that's kind of like when that's why I like working on messed up surfaces like this. I'm not going to draw on whiteboards from now on. I get it now. Also, ballpoint pens can be drawn very lightly. They sure can. They sure can, Didi. That's a good point, Willow. What kind of paper did he say he was drawing on? So this is a heavy grade cardstock that I have done some printing on in acrylic with a jelly plate. If you're not familiar with a jelly plate, there's some fantastic tutorials from Didi, who's here at the stream, and Devin Rexart does a really great one too. Oh, that's right. That's right. And I love Janet's Pictionary drawings. I really do. They always make sense to me. And I got a weird brain, so I don't know what that says, Janet. But I like how she's really clear and understandable in what it is that she's drawing in those. Yeah, see, I think we're going to play a fun game right now. It's called Let's Find a Pen That's Not Dried Out. These are the pens that kids got into last weekend, and I think they got me. Yeah, I think they got me. Actually, there's a nice texture now. Where are you? What do you got? Yeah, nothing either. All right, we're getting close. Last chance for a romance, and then we're using something else. All right, we got something in this. All right. So I think that it's a lot of fun to just draw straight on in pen, because then, you know, that safety net disappears and it makes you grow a little bit. She's a hoot. So good. I'll take Weird Brain. There it is. The new sock one was especially good. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure my devices don't have a brain emoji. Is that a conspiracy? It is. It is, Jen. It's entirely intentional. They're out to get you. and keeping you from hanging out with the cool kids at the back of the schoolyard. I tried to explain last night Diddy's conspiracy pronoun joke, and I could not remember it from the life of me. All right. So I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to cut out some of those shapes and write as well. I'll find it out now. I believe we have those technologies. Yeah, we do. Uh-oh. And the cool kids want to hang out with me. I don't know. Just checking if I have a brain. Hey, it's Cat Face. I identify as a conspiracy theorist. My pronouns are told you so. That's what it was. You do have a brain. Lucky girl. Yeah, then you don't have to go through that whole song and dance routine dressed up as a lion. Lucky. I wish I had that. So this is the sort of thing, Willow, if you're still here, I was mentioning before about going over values sort of removes the sense of concern of preciousness. Because if you're just going to keep layering over and layering over and layering over, the big concern about mistakes sort of goes away. Because you know for a fact that you could just as readily blend that into the next plane and keep moving up, keep moving out. My brain is brand new. It's never been used. Should I tell him I dressed up as a tiger in high school? Janet, I'm trying to. Come on. I won't tell anyone. Well, I won't say anything about the fact that I'm partially dressed as a tiger right now. So, my thinking off the hop is start having a story of Egyptian pack rat be narrated by this Egyptian statue. No, or maybe the real person. We'll see. We'll see. We'll get to it. It's I'm doing just line art and line art alone. It gets a little tricky when it comes to, tonality. You've got a very specific sort of way that largely you're able to work when you're working just line art from when you're actually doing mixed media line or like ballpoint and things like that. You got to change your approach. You got to change your vibe. Ugh. This might be cooked. Yeah, I think this one's cooked. Right in the garbage. Huh? Did you hear that? That was net. Got to shake it up. I am just coming across a whole bunch of mark making tools that I have not shown enough attention. And you're like, I don't want to work for you today. Well, you get working. You know what's good for you. All right. Am I missing stuff? So cool you're incorporating more and more mixed media into your one pages. Oh, thanks, Kat. I was holding back, right? The problem with when you kind of go, you're really comfortable with really going deep in the field is that it's the concern is always like, well, people just might not identify with it because it's so outside of the form, right? And it's only because in this last little while, I've given up on the form. As far as it goes for it being comic work, comics are in a portrait format, and very traditional style of approach. And none of these things I'm doing anymore are fitting that mold. And they're still comics. It's still sequential art, no doubt about it. But it's far removed from its sort of traditional established pattern. And so if I'm already taking that leap, and if I don't fit into the conformity of this is a sort of way we make marks and this is a sort of way we make pages, why not lean farther and just use whatever tools I want and do whatever I want anymore? So I'm back into that. And honestly, I appreciate the support and encouragement of a lot of people that come here, because that has sort of helped me out in realizing that it's okay to do that. It's okay to lean in and embrace that what I'm doing and how I'm going about doing it doesn't have to fit a cookie cutter anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that, that cookie cutter per se. There really isn't. It's just, it's important that we sing with our own voice, right? So I'm doing my best Pavarotti here. Uh-oh. Joshua Campbell, everybody behave. Looking rad. Love that texture. Thanks, Josh. So this is another jelly print that I'm working on. Now, you can see how the magazine said, ready for the unexpected. And that doesn't matter to me. I've turned it on its side. Well, why'd you choose that page, Chris? Didn't, other than to see if this kind of marker paper worked. It did, and I mean the last print that I did, I mean I got the gist of it. I get the gist of jelly plating now. I'm figuring out the different layers and patterns and shapes and things that I can put in there. So but I'm still going to draw a solo story on this, and this will be one of this weekend's pages. But it's back to what I was saying. It's sort of important that we had a hard time with the grammar, Lori and I, about my topic today about how the value of support is so important, and it can be really underrated. And people will just be like, yeah, so-and-so likes what I do. And one of the things I'm trying to say is that I'm really taken back, and I'm really appreciative of people, tuning in on this crazy thing that I'm doing, and the appreciation that I'm feeling from that is fantastic. Not just I'm very lucky in having a partner that stands by me pursuing doing this, but to have people like yourselves that tune in, holy camole. So Nice print, Christopher. Thank you, Janet. Your artwork is such consistency that your additional media use just enhances that amazing consistency. Oh my goodness. In the best possible ways. Wow, thanks, Kat. Yeah, and thanks, Dee Dee. I'm agreeing with Kat. Lori is going to be on this week. Lori's going to be on this week with us. She is off this week, but Lori spent the entire morning in the studio here with me. If you go on the website, christopherrunciman.ca, you're going to see an entirely new website because Lori was down here with me in the studio, and she has the language for this stream and the language on all of the postings now, and the consistent language that's used throughout our different social media is all thanks to Lori sitting down and harnessing the madness. So she will be on this week. And she's we're going to be having a book review out this week as well for somebody's book. So I don't want to give it away. I don't want to spoil it. So there's little developments happening here. So I'm just cutting around the form. I like how the Fudenosuke markers are sharp, and they let you get into the corners of those lines that you put down. That if you're using a Sharpie or a brush, it's a bit of monkeying around. Now, brush is, you can get a similar technique, but with a Sharpie, you definitely can't. However, I'm not going to use a Sharpie for filling in these blacks here. I'm going to do a ink wash because I like this stuff and I don't want it to disappear. But I thought I would emboss the figure forward by having it highlighted. So I'm just putting some of these textural patterns that are on these old Egyptian characters in their outfits. Okay, so I think this is our first panel. What about the bad language? Yeah. You guys got your bad language. Yeah. It looks like rubbed carbon paper. You know what? It kind of does. That's interesting. What I did was a black acrylic on, and this was the first time I tried to do a jelly transfer, and didn't quite figure it out, but I still like what it gave me in this surface. So we're going to keep it and use it. Okay, so here is our person telling our story about the Egyptian pack rat. So this is where we're starting. Hi, everyone. Hi, Chris. Welcome aboard. So I think that I need to get right into it with drawing our first Egyptian guy. So I'm just, I could do this kind of like it's a wall image. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm thinking of here? We'll see. There we go. All right. I've got this fly that is driving me crazy in my studio today, and I am unimpressed by its behavior. This is also a Fudenosuke pen. It's gray. Did you know that they had gray ones? Here is a red one, and I have a brown one and a blue one. What? I'm late. I was finishing the Falcon Captain America and put it on Instagram. Oh, it's so good. It's so good, that piece. The Egyptian Shumba. I'm going to have to get Josh on the stream so that he can perform Steve Barton's King Tut. Dun, 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 Rockin' Tut. Yeah. All right. At a condo made of stone. So I did a big thing yesterday and sent where is Corbin? Corbin is upstairs sleeping. He's basking in the sun on our open back door. Jen and I know about the gray ones. You might have stock and jet pens. Boy, do I know about gray. All right, I'm gonna let this character go and move on to the next thing. So yeah, let's play with the idea of it and have draw this page as though it's a hieroglyph, right, or a wall carving. I think stuff like that's fun, and why not? Why not? So the way I'm putting the images down have little, if anything, to do with the background at all. I want to just use the surface as a good base of like interesting bits of information, so that I can, as I'm doing whatever my image is, there's a little bit of underlying complexity to it that, whether it's intended or not, I want to try to use as best as I'm able in the background. And in this sort of carbon rubbing texture, as was suggested by Didi, it might be fun to cover in a cream color. And so now it sort of emulates sand or like a stone, right? Egyptian theme, I like Bastet, the cat goddess. Bastet, first historic example of vampirism. Bastet. There's some fantastic mythologies that have Bastet in them that basically implies that she's a vampire. And I kind of like that. Parchment paper, yeah, sort of like a parchment paper. I'm trying to go for like a stone surface though, like a sand, like a, I don't know. You'll see what I mean. Someone gave me a mini Bastet figurine a long time ago. I still have it. Is it sitting or standing? So the flip side of this, I'll let you know now that even though I'm gonna try to emulate tradition Egyptian imagery and figures, I'm going to write it in a very different way. I'm going to approach that in a very different way. So here I am minding my own business. What happened? So the nice thing about these pens is this point. I've never before seen marker pens with a pointed tip on them that had so much control that they afforded you, and man, I appreciate that. Like, look at just a little bit of pressure and you can really beef up a line. Sitting Bastet, nice. Disco type. This reminds me of going to the ROM and sketching the sarcophagi. Nice. All right, so let's cut some of these shapes out. So by being able to put some of this white on top of the surface, see, that's the kind of thing that you can still see that sort of modeling underneath. Like, it doesn't make the value that it's going over completely disappear. And so I kind of like that because it's sort of like veining or the undertones in stone. So that's why my brain was thinking this is sort of like a carving. Trick is being able to maintain finding your image where it is as you're working through on a surface that's all kind of monkeyed up. By the way, last week of vacation, go back to university August 2nd. Oh my gosh, that seems really quick. But then again, you did teach summer school, right? Or summer courses. So clearly there's not that much of a no time off for good behavior. Okay, so our Egyptian story is going to be this statue, and as she tells the story, it's going to be acted out by these hieroglyphic characters. Let's just see how much of it we can get through. I like the idea of just pursuing a motif. That was 3 weeks. My next vacation, not until December 10th. Oh my goodness. School finished on July 10th. That's not long at all. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry, but you spend as much of it as you can on the beach. Someone near the beach. Okay, so let's do the misses. I think there'll be hair coming down. But I'm ready to go back. She's ready to go back and mold some young minds. And I'll say, "Hey, teacher." And she'll say, "Did you guys miss me?" And the students will say, "So-and-so got your name tattooed on their chest." Wait, what? Once again, I had to step away. Please repeat everything for the last 20 minutes. Hieroglyphics, arguably the first comics, also are a great indie hip-hop group. Boys! The hieroglyphics. I'm hip, kids. I remember the big song, Funky Cold Medinas. Huh? The Funky Cold Medinas. All right, so I'm really trying to hold on to the style of presentation that they have on the screen. So, Jim, are you with Emiliano? Yes, Kat. Always. There you go. This is what I'm talking about how it just lets you direct that line however you want it to be. Really like these pens. I highly recommend them. All right. Trying to think of how. So there's a great in Marvel Comics. They have this race of people called Cool Jim. When I was in school, I did a film called Cool Jeans, and it was just about people wearing the tightest pants that they could, and successfully get tighter and tighter over the course of the video, but not in like any way, shape, or form comfortably. So whenever I hear anybody say cool anything, it's what my brain automatically thinks of that video. Because there's a part of me that still wants to edit it the way I wanted it. All right. Okay. Where are we at? Those are the plastic nib ones, right? I think they are. Yep. But again, I highly recommend them. So this is a hard tip that I'm using, and you can see how it still gives you this real, like a sort of, there's a fluidity to the line, but it gives you a nice balanced sense of pressure to it. And then the black ones are the soft tip, and they're even better for the thick lines. But when you want sharp, nice, tight lines, I recommend the hard tip one. And it lets you point really well and go to the points. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Question of the day, number 273. How are you with public speaking? How are you with public speaking? And let me just open this up. As people are starting to put in their answers, my response will be this. I'm the goodest at it, or what? What? Or whatever? Huh? Yeah. Cloudy and rainy today. Finally, I like days like this. Been too hot. Test some acrylic markers today that I got at HEB. Nice. Nice. How are people here about public speaking? Is this something that you shy away from? Is it something you feel very comfortable with? That's a fun question. Mama laka boo boo. Amazing speaking. There you go. Did debate in high school. I learned to be very good at it. There's a sub-course in snarking. I don't like the public, so I don't speak to them. So if anybody walks up to you and says, excuse please, and you go, no, and just walk away. Because that's how I do it. I now enjoy public speaking. It was terrible to do while in junior school. My job depends fully on public speaking skills. I don't think I've ever had a problem of yakking, but I have a funny little hiccup that if the focus is on me, and not in the sense that any attention's coming my way. I mean, like if somebody's like, "Hey, Chris did this thing," and I'm like, hide under a rock. But if it's just talking, yeah, I'll talk your lips off. Frank Mapley has had success with Toastmasters. He was on Josh's stream last night. Yes, that was really interesting. Awesome. I'll have to watch that. I haven't had a chance. I'm really behind on keeping up with streams. I really am. I'm trying to gun it here. I've got, well, what I did with the one pages, but then I've got the other stuff I'm doing, and whew, a lot of juggling. A lot of juggling right now. It's all about planning your time. That's why whenever like somebody like Jim will call me or whatever, I'll be like, okay, Jim, you got 33 seconds, go. 31, hurry it up, Jim. That's how I talk. Come on. I had 5 brothers. You cannot embarrass me. Challenge. Cannot embarrass me. What are you doing to yourself? That just became an objective for people. See what I mean by the nice little pointy lines that we can get from that? Janet, I saw this rotten teenager walking down the street drawing a line without a ruler. I had to smack him. And lunch. Page looking rather great. Thanks, Josh. Have a great lunch. My husband says I'm a mumbly magnet. No, magnet. Sorry about that. Magnet. All the mumblies want to talk to me. Oh, is that right? Mumbly magnet. I can't even say it correctly. It's so funny. I so owe you. Smack those people, Jim. Advocation of violence. There goes all my monetization. So I'm putting down some of the little symbols and whatnot that we'd see around the figures as they're chatting, as though mounted on a wall. A temple wall? Uh-huh. Do-do-do-do-do. Ruler, Janet. Got a ruler for those lines, fella. All right, I'm going to close this. Let's get the word out. Has anybody ever really had a problem with public speaking? Like, is there anybody that took some effort to get to that stage for yourselves? Are you the kind of person that's always walked into a room by kicking the door open saying, all right, who's up for it? Not even declaring what it is? If you are, I'd respect that. Unless it was my door I had to fix. Yeah, I'm a crazy person magnet. I truly am. I'm just minding my own business. Crazy, wherever there's crazy around, they're going to walk up to me. It's just how it works. Unit says, I'm actually using a ruler right now. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Second time today. Yeah, buddy. Okay. I always got U's in elementary school for talking. Wow. Chris just said mumbling maggot. I'm reporting from LA. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Just putting some more shapes down. Just they probably don't have any conduct scores these days. Probably not. I'm not. It's also a different system than here. Chris is a very rude public speaker. Shut up, Jim. I'm sorry, Jim. I take it back. I didn't mean that. Yeah. Go make me a sandwich, Jim. I'm drawing some dudes in reclining. Aw, Jimmy. And that's why we love him. That and my particular ability to pick out the best exotic cheeses. All right. So, a couple more. Janet, don't look. What in the world did he just do? Did he not use that ruler? Cut and paste. I prefer to keep my mouth shut and have everyone think I'm an idiot than to open it and remove all doubt. Not me. I'm about proving my case. If I hear some contentious statement in a conversation, I'll go, and I'll say it sarcastically on purpose. On purpose, I'll do that. What do you think, Christopher? And I'll say, what do you think, Christopher? Even if I agree with them. I can't help myself. Isn't that a biblical quote, Kat? Yes, it is. Just like my other favorite one, hey, if you ain't done nothing wrong, throw a bunch of rocks. I'm pretty sure that's how it's written. You can check into it. That's the actual quote that's in the Bible. Hey, ain't done nothing wrong. Throw some rocks. Symbols. I'm also reporting duty for a Bible quote. After 30 plus years of online chats, well, nothing's changed in 30 years. Nothing ever really will. I mean, that's the thing. We've translated some Sumerian text, little mud imprinted with a imprint stylus, little baked bricks that work like journals. And This one dad is complaining about what do I do with my son. He doesn't listen to anything and he's lazy. And it's just reassuring to me to know that there are other people out there that have made the faux pas writing a journal that someone's going to dredge up in 20 years and they're going to get me too. All the Egyptian statues are coming down. They know what they did. They know what they did. All right. Abraham Lincoln and Mark Twain are the two usually credited. If you ain't got nothing to say, don't say nothing. Back, I'm hopeful I'm not reported for saying that I'm going to get another set of HEB acrylic markers. They are nice. I'm looking forward to see what you do with them. Please turn your hymnals to page 47 in the book of Hagar. And thou shalt not drive 55. Oh my gosh. It's true. It's true. You shouldn't. You can't in certain places. You just can't. They don't let you. Sometimes songs lie, though. There's this one rap song that says, bam, blam, that's the sound of the police. And they do not sound like that. I've heard them have completely normal conversations. So somebody is not doing their research. Whee! All right. Has anybody here ever done stand-up? Like standing up on stage and telling the peoples the yokes? It's a long way down to the floor. I made it. Okay, so just going to do a couple more symbols and then on to the next panel. So the whole point of doing this one rudimentary rock hieroglyphic is that it's just to have the one guy go, I couldn't believe it with my own eyes. She's like, oh my God, really? That's awesome. Janet says, I have never been drunk enough to do stand-up. Woo! I didn't know we could get drunk to do it. So is there any topics, any specific topics that they would like for us to discuss when Lori comes on the stream this week? Besides, how do you live with him? Oh my God, that's not going to be allowed in the questions, because I don't want her to realize I'm still here. She's gonna catch on and she'll be like, hey, wait a minute, get out. I would like to hear about what books she likes to read. Oh yeah, speaking of books, I gotta show today 3 books of today. Yeah, she can tell you all about like you've got your thing for Cadfell. She's got a thing for Jan Karen's Mitzburg or Mitzville series. Cleveland's House of Fish. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. Mitford. Everybody's got a book series that they like. If you don't, oh my gosh, find one before it's too late. Okay, one last. He says, and then he does one more. Okay, so there's our panel 2. Now I want to find a better old white there to chop this all out of here. What are you going to do? Much of anything? No, you're dead. I got it in again. I just went to Michael's. I don't want to go back again. Until I absolutely have to. Yeah, I can ask her if she'll talk about the books she likes and, other interesting questions. How much can you lift? What do you do if you're, confronted in a knife fight? All the questions that general interest, things that people probably want to know. Okay, if you're on a train, and that train is going at X amount of hours a second on the track, what kind of crazy situation are you finding yourself in? Those Egyptians are looking good to remind me of my bookmark. Oh, hello, Christopher and all. Hi, Barbara. That's a cool bookmark. Do the people on your bookmark look like they're looking at each other going, I'm telling you, you wouldn't have believed it. Like, seriously, this guy. Yeah, paint markers are fun. They present you with opportunities that self-correcting. They present you with the chance to further a section. I enjoy this stream because Chris is sending me secret messages about the government in his drawing. Speaking of trains, I can't get over Janet drawing a guy in a train for the Pictionary word bum. Don't know if you saw in Dee Dee's chat, but I said I watched Infinity Pool on the weekend, and you are so talented. Excellent. By the way, the art is looking very on point, Christopher. Thanks, Jim, but did you see what Barbara just said? I put Infinity Pool in the page yesterday. It's a conspiracy, or it's, what is it? It's a disinformation program from the government. It's Jim's Infinity Pool film. All right. I know I keep saying, all right, that's enough. All right, here's a fun question. Did anybody do the makeup on their eye, the Egyptian-looking makeup on your eye at any point in history? Thank you, Barbara. That's very kind. Infinity Pool is one of my favorites. I cannot forget the new sock and Amazon logo. Okay, Smarty Pants, how would you have depicted Bum? Right, I'm telling you right now, Emiliano Koviak is mine. You get some good pants. It's great. I still think that was good. Yeah, it was a good one, Janet. Janet, like your butt book does. I love the new sock Amazon logo. That was a hoot. That was so good. I love to watch Janet's Pictionary stream. It's such a random thing because I hate playing Pictionary. I really do, because it's either I blow it by being too deliberate and having to make it too representational and just blowing the time, or it's so abstract nobody else can get what in the world I'm doing. So I find it a little frustrating. Okay, so here's a little bit of schmutzing here. Okay, next panel. I gotta stop. I gotta keep moving. YouTube chat is still goofy because Chris just showed CMP comment about the Buck book and doesn't appear in my chat. What? Well, if that's the case, we better leave that up there. Okay, there you go. Butt book, butt book, butt book. King Tut. Now, when he was a young man. Hi there, and hi there, and hi there. There you go. Conspiracy, that word should be followed by chicken. Hiya, Riri. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Okay. All right, so there's our next panel. Let's keep going on this. Let's draw a hawkhead guy. I like when you've got imagery that has like this sort of elegant underlying simplicity to it. And a lot of the Egyptian hieroglyphics, clip-claps, and they really do. Even if I can't say it. Oops. It's a kitty. This is why I like these pens, because it just lets you control your line. Oh, forgive me, chicken. Did you guys see the dancing pigeon? Oh my gosh, Riri just sent me a video of a dancing pigeon earlier today, and it just kills me. I'm a mumbly maggot talking about a butt book. I did not mean to say maggot. Riri's going to send it. That's why we loves you, Barbara. That's very nice of you to say. Okay, looking so, well, Egyptian. It's a chicken of the sea. I heard you singing that, Barbara. Oh my gosh. Okay, so with the, I'm gonna put, I just want to get this top line drawn in, and then I'm gonna come back in and get a little bit creative here. All right, and then these hair pieces have to go, just so we can get this guy's perspective on the whole ordeal. How many colors? We got 3. There we go. And a thick one. I kind of, the whole flat perspective thing that is in Egyptian art is always just sort of baffled me. For the complexity and the geometric understanding they have with everything else, they drew everything flat. I've never understood that. Thanks, by the way, Judy. It looks very Egyptian. I remember that phrase, but the name of the singer who said it, the chicken of the sea. That's the, I wouldn't call her a singer, Jessica Simpson. It was an ad to Charlie Tuna for Tuna the fish. Oh yeah, Tuna. Yeah, that's right, Charlie Tuna. Charlie Tuna. But yeah, there's a girl that thought that brand of, it was called Chicken of the Sea. So she couldn't understand how come she'd never seen a swimming chicken before. And you could just see the open embarrassment on her husband's face in this television program that they had about their lives. I think even he was surprised by, you believe what? Okay, so I'm going to continue this symbolic relief background because the text is all going to go over it anyways. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just having something there to start with, kind of gives the viewers something or eye to move around. Why do they say tuna fish but not salmon fish? It's a conspiracy, Barbara. There's a brand here in Mexico called Aton Tuni. Tuna Tuni. I knew you would know. Thanks. See, it's not friends helping friends. There you go. Okay. So the idea in the narrative is to have the statue as though it's regaling the tale. And then these are the playing parts that are acting it out as we go. That's the theory. All right. Now I want to monkey around with it a little bit. Ruler. Okay. So this is introducing the narrative. So this is going to start the introduction of the idea, and I got a whole thing in my head. And then this is going to be, oh yeah, well I heard it was like this, and then he starts the proper story. Okay, gotta run. Oh, thanks very much, Didi. Thanks for coming out. What are you saying? Bye-bye. I think it's okay to draw hieroglyphics without a ruler. Oh, thank goodness. I was worried. Yeah, forget it. I'm tired of that. I'm already tired of it. Bump, 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 bump. Much nicer white. Just go right to the ink. Go right to the jar. I don't know how well that's picking up, but so I tried to step up things in the studio today, and I got the lighting finally figured out, and the camera finally focused properly. And my goodness, people are going to start thinking I know what I'm doing. That's all I need. So the limitation placed on myself with this is really just using black and white. I want to put all kinds of pencil work and stuff in here too, but I'm going to hold off on this. What am I missing? All the school kids so sick of books. They're like the punk and the metal band. The buzzer rings. They're walking like an Egyptian. Oh, hey, oh. Oh my gosh. Don't worry, be happy. Sorry, fat fingers on a teeny tiny keyboard. Which ink, may I ask? Okay, today's ink is the Daler Rowney. It's I enjoy it. It's an acrylic ink. You can see all the different tools that you're able to use it with right here, and airbrush, brush, marker, dipping ink, quill, yeah, everything. Always looking for the best white. I really enjoy this white. I've got two primaries that I keep around. There's this, and then there's a Winsor Newton calligraphy ink. Now, the Daler Rowney has far more opacity to it than the Winsor Newton calligraphy ink. The calligraphy ink is very fluid in order for you to really engage in some nice line writing. But the Daler Rowney, it's got some guts to it. So, and it tends to I find it tends to really do a really great job of cover-ups, and you don't have to go over and over again. Like you see, I just ran one line down in there, and it stays consistent. Always looking for the best white. Yep. Fantastic page, Christopher. The white's a nice touch. Oh, thanks, Kat. Horace looks great. There we go. Own it. Nice. I'm glad you got that. Use it. It's a good ink. It's a good ink. If you tried the Zig white, it's way good too. It is good. It is good. I just, for some reason, it really prefer this, the Daler Rowney. I've tried a couple inks in my time. The Daler Rowney is also, because it's an acrylic ink, it has, for me, the ability to be used with a whole bunch of different mediums. So the page is contorted a little bit here in the camera, I realize now. We'll fix that up. So I'm running through this top part and just hitting a couple little belts of the white. You can see how the pen I was using was diffusing, and which is fine, but in other areas I still want some sharp white lines. So years ago, I went to a place here in southwestern Ontario that it was in St. Thomas, called the Alma Women's College is the site. And unfortunately, at the time, the Women's College was already gone. But on the grounds, they had a outdoor amphitheater built into a hill. And I thought that was so cool. And people in the last so many years have bought the property, and they put up an apartment building and completely plowed under that amphitheater. And I saw that last night, and it made me really mad. Liquitex titanium white ink. It's nice too. It is nice too. I've had Liquitex before. The reason I don't still have it is I spilled it, and I bought the Daler Rowney instead, and I'm really, really happy with it. But I had Liquitex before, and it did the job. Chris has got to go. See you around tomorrow. Time to fix lunch for Dad and me. Hey, thanks very much for coming out, Chris. Have a great lunch with your dad. So, I got no problem with the Liquitex at all. All right. So now is the part where I feel like it really is kind of, because of this texture that the paper started with, there really is a sense of, it sort of emulates the stone, I'm doing everything I can not to go at this with graphite as well. Built into a hill, also known as a cave. No, it wasn't a cave. It was an amphitheater. So it was, they scored the side of an embankment, and they put terraced seating up. It was huge. It was big enough for the entirety of the population of the school while it was there. And when these new people bought the property for it, even though where they put the building and where they put the parking lot has nowhere to do with where the amphitheater was, they plowed it under. So I would think that would have been ideal to make a terraced garden system for the tenants, but no, they blew it. So I'm going to go down there and I'm going to burn that building up. All right, so this is the Daler Rowney black. So we're going to get all up in this business. Now I'm going to be a little more less opaque. With the black. I want to keep all this information coming through somewhat, but I want it to be, dark enough. Put the lid on this before I spill it. Let's see if this works. There we go. So hopefully that's made it a little more stone-like. And I'm going to do this one more time. Kind of like bookends. And we're going to come back and do one more thing to it. All right. Give that a second to dry. And then I'm going to do one last little bit of fiddly business. That's the... All right, I'll show you. Let's see if you can see the difference on this. So this is a page suggested by Michael Thon, who was on yesterday with Rachel. So we're going to do this for Michael as his first suggestion here. And then I've got a page for tomorrow, I believe I'm going to do, that was suggested by Philip. As we all call him here, Chandler the Handler. And then it's 3 Prompt Thursday. Now, hopefully, if that goes well, it's a little out of focus there. Let me see if I can pull it up. No, it's still not pulling out of focus. I'm having this camera just phases out on me. Anyways, I'm trying to get certain highlights to pop up off the surface there. How I really could have pushed that was to have that black wash go over the entire surface and then pull things out, but like I said, this white is not as strong as the other that I showed you. There we go. And then over here, I'm going to cut some of these lines then. With the white. Yeah, I should have used the other white. Here we go. It's a sign, ladies and gentlemen. Wanna go out, make you happy. All right. Oh, Barbara says, thanks a lot, Christopher, for writing a story. I was going to write a story about 3 bears coming out of a cave and then visited by a girl with blonde curls. I'm sure it would have been a classic. I think that's been done already, but it was a boy with the bears. And the bears were actually just symbolic representations of Republicans. So, all right, so there's the top part of our page coming together. And so I think the last thing I'm going to do after the whole thing is put together is that I'm going to do a sort of sand-colored screen throughout it. I hope this makes sense. And a little bit of bumps so that it looks like it's directly carved into like a sandstone. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to see how that goes. You know, say before I forget, as per usual, if anybody's got one-page ideas or suggestions that they want to throw down with their bad self, please feel free to do so. And you can, if you don't put it in chat, you can put it in comments or wherever else. But we've been having a lot of fun. I really appreciate everybody taking part in that and engaging in that, and all the support I've been getting. I can't get over it. It's all good feelings, and we've got all kinds of fun stuff planned that's coming up for everybody that's been so supportive and following. While we're getting this book put together to come out, so it is happening. It's all happening right now, and we're at 697 people on Instagram, and I never thought that would have happened. And I know comparatively that number is so small to other people, and yet it's every one of those people just sort of, really, me? You know, I really appreciate it. So, but I'm going to get this this page finished and put out for tomorrow. And in the meantime, I got some paperwork I got to do and stuff like that for all the processes of getting the book together. So, thank you everybody for coming out. I'm missing some stuff. Great fun seeing your wonderful creative process, Christopher. See y'all later. Thank you so much, Kat. You're awesome. Thank you, Christopher. Take care. All bye. Thank you, Barbara. You are awesome as well. Everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate everybody coming out. You're all awesome. I will be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Thank you, Janet. You're awesome. I just saw that. Thanks, Christopher. I have to go clean a bathroom now. Bragging. Feel sorry for me if you want. No, I'm just tired of the bragging, Janet. I'm going to clean a bathroom. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. I will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST to work on the next page. But please feel free to, if you've never made a one-page suggestion, come on, get in there. Challenge me. I'm in for it. I'm up for it. Let's see what we got. And in the meantime, Dee Dee's stream will be on tomorrow morning. So Jenna's saying the same thing. We'll see you tomorrow at Dee Dee's stream. And 8:30, I think, in the morning is EST. So have a great night and bye for now. See you tomorrow.